Welcome welcome everybody to Generation Dan, the comedy podcast about generational differences. As we record this, right before the Super Bowl is happening, I am Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I am the old person here, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and we have someone pretending to be young, which is our guest, Mr. Cole Clayton.
I'm the guy right here.
That's the funny thing is, it's you and Atlas are the same age, but Atlas is pretending to be my age, and you're pretending to be a little child's age. It's very funny for me because also I know people like that constantly.
Which is also weird because if you think about it, like I'm the dad, and Atlas
has no children,
yeah. But he's the married one. Like there's a lot of layers to this.
We're very much like crossing paths in very peculiar ways. Like I've been together with my wife for 16 years. We don't have kids. We've been married for 8. Atlas just got newly married. And then Cole's a dad. You're like, what is happening right now?
We're all walks of life right here.
It's like that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick and Jerry like try and switch bodies, and then it's like half Rick and half Jerry in 2 bodies. Yeah, but with 3 of us.
Yeah, it's very like there's a lot happening on. So it is the Super Bowl. I have tagged the Super Bowl on everything that we've posted today.
Nice.
We're making food. After this, we're going to be doing hammered in cheese because we're going to make some stuff. Mm-hmm. There we go. Damn, you guys are still going. That's absolutely right. Yeah. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
Angie, cheers. Dino,
what's up, guys?
How you doing? Thank you very much for popping in.
I'll be able to stick around for about half of the hammered in cheese, but I'm going to have to bounce midway through.
Oh, you're coming on hammered in cheese too? Hell yeah.
I am, just to hang out. Katie's napping. She's like, wake me up at 1:30, so
that's fair. That's fair. It's, you know what, like that's the thing is I have always been of the feeling like, because I grew up Jehovah's Witness, like we didn't celebrate anything, so it was like any sort of holiday or special event was just an excuse to get together, right? It was just like, all right, let's go do shit, right? Like that was a good thing, right? So like,
this is the last family holiday for me till 4th of July. Like we'll do Mother's Day, we'll do Father's Day, but like those aren't like
Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Those are drive-bys, you know.
Yeah, that's like a here's your card, bye. Like it's not really.
Yeah, I mean,
this is it. This is the final one for the year till summer. We're not doing shit. And we're done.
Summer, sorry. When you have the plan, when you want to do plans, I'm going to be on vacation. I can't. Sorry, I'm going to be doing my own thing. I'm enjoying my summer. The winter is used for family events, so you don't have to see them during the summer. I can enjoy my summer without family and just.
I like barbecuing and drinking and watching shit blow up too much. Like that's me right there. Like 100%. So
also, he's Canadian. And Cole, you and I are American.
Right. You don't have 4th of July over there.
You don't have 4th of July as like a thing, you know.
I have my wedding anniversary is July 1st, or actually June 30th, because July 1st is Canada Day. So we're up. Yeah.
Dino's everybody has 4th of July. It's there on the calendar every year.
Everyone has 4th of July. That is true.
It's funny because my birthday is February 19th, so it falls near Valentine's Day.
Oh, so it's coming up. Shit.
Yeah, and then
happy birthday, man!
Thank you. And then Katie's is July 5th, so 4th of July and her birthday like run into each other.
Oh, so you both got screwed. Nice.
Kinda. I mean, Valentine's Day not so much because I never really put a lot of stock in it because it's my birthday.
See, but that's the thing. Hold on, when is your birthday? Is it the 15th? No,
the 19th.
The 19th. So
yeah,
my anniversary is 21st. Okay, Joey. Yeah. So me and Victoria, our first date was on February 21st. Hilariously, the following year, after we'd been together for 1 year, I was like, so listen, I can afford an anniversary or Valentine's Day. I personally say anniversary.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is made up and I don't really give a shit. Mm-hmm. So what we do is, and I've told you guys before, was that on Valentine's Day, we will dress up fancy. We have to make each other a gift. The budget is $13. We go out for fast food because we try not to have fast food too often, but
okay.
We go for fast food, like cool, good fast food, and then we'll go to a scary movie in the theater.
Yeah, movies is a great fucking Valentine's Day date. Back in the day, we had so many romantic comedies. We don't do that. They don't do that anymore. Yeah. Like, what happened to the romantic comedy?
I really think it died out sometime in the 2010s.
Yeah, it's sad. I love romantic comedies. This is some of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
Hold on. Andy's like, my divorce was February 6th.
Woo!
There you I like to hang out in England on the 4th of July and tell the Brits to worship me. I mean, that's you earn that.
I love it. Jim, I don't know what Jim is, but like he won my respect over that.
100%.
Jim is the first boomer guest we ever had on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
You want to talk about weird anniversaries? Me and my baby mama's anniversary while we were together.
Yeah.
Was my son was born. Our son was born on our anniversary. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
It was when he was born. It was like a whole romantic. Oh, happy anniversary, baby. And then after that, it was just like, I got too much shit going on. Like,
proud to be a boomer. That's fair, Jim. Like, we all aspire to be financially independent, but
yeah.
But that's the only way is being a boomer. I am over American Pride jokes because I have so many UK friends now. I mean,
I'm over a joke. Oh, okay.
Joey's
better than you.
Joey's also over having hair, wearing clothes that fit, not being high. He's like, oh no, I'm always high. I'm over not being high. That's just that's how Joey works.
Yeah, so this being the Super Bowl, Katie's family, like her parents are pretty into football. Katie is now herself getting into football and basketball.
Really?
So this is like that first year where we're going, and I think she's going to watch the game to watch the game.
Really?
Yeah, which will be interesting. And then my dad, who is, Dino, you were at the wedding. You saw my dad.
Yeah.
Watching the Dolphins game in his lap.
Nonstop. He is committed, which I can appreciate that, where he's like, oh yeah, that's fine.
He's from Miami, and he tells me he was at the first Dolphins game ever in the 60s, and I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Could be possible, right? He would have been in his teens, roughly. Like, that's just maybe.
Just so everyone can know, I walked up to Atlas's dad and introduced myself, and he did not give a fuck who I was. It was the funniest shit I've ever done, because he's like, sure. I'm like, oh, hi, I'm Dino. I'm Atlas's co-host. He's like, okay. Have a great time. And I'm like,
who cares?
Sure. Thanks.
Is that how your dad is with your comedy career too, by the way?
Kind of. I mean, okay.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, he's 70.
He's got his own shit.
He has Parkinson's. He doesn't care anymore. And frankly, I don't blame him. Go off, King,
Yeah.
My mom loves that I'm a comedian. That is her favorite thing to tell every single body. So we were just at the grocery store getting stuff for the Super Bowl today, and she's telling the cashier, you should check him up. He's Sniffing Glue 22 on YouTube. You should check out. He's got a cooking show. I'm like, Jesus, Mom.
The funny thing is, like, it had to happen eventually that she was going to be a supportive mom. Like, that's fair. Like, it had to.
You got to hush. She's about to walk in here in a second.
Okay. So Jim's like, after my divorce from a millennial, I no longer financially independent. Number one, you go get that tang there, Mr. Jim Eaton. Whatever you got to do, bro. That's fine. I agree with your dad. You do not schedule weddings. Read the room. I think that's an awesome.
Here's the thing: when we planned the wedding, I did not expect the Dolphins to be good enough to be that far in the playoffs.
No, you live in California. Nobody gives a fuck about the Dolphins. It's any fucking football game, bro.
My dad's from Miami, so like it's not like he's doing it because of fantasy football or something.
Weren't the Rams playing? Weren't the Rams playing on your wedding? I'm pretty sure they were.
I thought they had been eliminated by that.
They were, bro. I think they were playing a playoff game.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The way your dad is, I feel like if he was in a fantasy football league, he still would have been doing the same thing, even if he was remember. I got guys on my league in this. It's fine.
He watched the ceremony, and if he wants to, watch the Dolphins all through the reception, more power to him. It's cool.
That's the thing is, I remember for my wedding, we went because it was an Art Deco theater. So on the movie screen, we had we played 3 different movies. I forget which movies. One was The Dark Knight. That's what we ended the night with. And there were 2 others. I forget what they were. One was a cartoon, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, can we have the subtitles going?" They're like, "Yeah, that's no problem." They're like, "We'll turn off the video when you're doing speeches." I'm like, "Nah, man, just let it go. I don't give a shit." I'm like, "Cause you know what? They're good movies. All 3 were good movies." So I'm just like, just let people. Oh, one was the Lego movie. Oh, so Kyle's like, "I support football over weddings." Thanks, Kyle.
That's so crazy. Kyle loves football. I'm starting to get that vibe that he likes football as a Canadian.
I don't know if Kyle, are you a huge football guy? Because I'm like, I enjoy football just because I'm like,
football in Canada is a huge football guy, in my opinion.
It's bro.
There's no football. Well, y'all got the Canadian League. But
We have Canadian Football League, so
y'all got Johnny Manziel in that league.
Well, anyway, so
I don't know who that is. Anyways,
we're going over to Katie's parents, and my dad's coming with us. So that should be a fun time.
I mean, it will be nice for Katie and your dad to bond. That'll be fine, right?
No, definitely.
And it should be it'll be good.
And then,
who gives a fuck about bonding? There's a football game on.
And also here's the other kicker. So Joey, when we were recording our episode with him a few weeks ago, the Ravens were playing the 49ers, I think.
Yeah.
Or was it Kansas City? Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. And he predicted who won, and then he's like, I predicted the last 6 games correctly. Yeah. And I'm like, tell me who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and I'll put some money on it. So I have $50 on the 49ers to win.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey man, no harm in that. So Kyle is not so much. He's not so much pro football. He's more anti-wedding.
And
which is fair.
That is completely understandable. As a child of divorce, I do not blame you.
Yeah.
I love weddings. There's usually free drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Anytime. Okay. Just to be clear, if you go, because bro, I was drinking, getting high. We were just having a good time, and then I was like, oh, by the way, this is like a bunch of edibles. And I was like, there were people on my table. I'm like, you guys want one? They're like, sure. I'm like, all right.
I mean, if y'all had the wedding in Cleveland, I'd have came for sure. It's on the other side of the country. Who thought of that? That was a dumb marketing ploy on your part.
How dare you have it local to yourselves, you sons of selfish sons of bitches.
It wasn't even that local. It was 3 hours north of LA. That's technically a destination wedding.
That's the other weird part is like you had it not even near you. Like,
I mean, that's fair.
It's different. Like, that's less of a destination wedding than say, like, we're gonna have our wedding in Aruba. No, like it was just like getting a car.
Those people are just weird.
Yeah.
You want to go have your wedding somewhere you can't see all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I was to get married, I'm romantic like that. I know I don't give that vibe at all. But I'm like, look, it's the church we got married at. You know what I mean? I would do that all the time for brownie points. You know.
I was on a show, Bobby Oliver's place, Dow Comedy Studio, who has also been on the show, Bobby Oliver.
And her husband, Chris.
Yeah. But I was on a show at their club last night, and I had all this material about the getting married. And I was like, get a courthouse wedding, people. It's
so okay. Now that you've been through it, you understand. You're like, okay, you don't want to deny your significant other a special day. Let's start there. But also, who fucking cares? Like, this is insane. Like, it's one of those things where you're in a situation where you're going, yeah, okay, I want to celebrate this. But you also, we could have taken this money and bought something really, really, really cool.
Or just had a better honeymoon, because the wedding 9 times out of 10 was us just moving from place to place without really getting to enjoy anything.
Oh yeah.
Gotta take pictures over here, gotta say hi to these people, gotta make sure these people are paid, go over here, and like, I think we're gonna enjoy going to
Joey, you're already married. Sorry, Alex.
More than like having our wedding. Like, her friend is getting married later this year, and I'm so excited that I don't have to do anything. I can show up and get drunk and have 100%. Fun. Yeah,
I like how Joey's like, next wedding is Cole or me, and I'm like, that's not. You're already married.
I feel like Kyle's before me.
That implies that he and Cole are going to marry each other, and it's like,
oh, it doesn't. He didn't say and me. He said or me.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Let me ship you two.
Why you gotta make it gay, man?
I set a reasonable budget, say $7,500, and have a party with it. Get the money back at the wedding. It's not about getting them. Listen. $7,500 for a good wedding. Like, if you have it in a community center or something like that, you could do that. Without an issue, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to debt for a wedding, you're a special. Oh, that's definitely true.
Sure, but
don't think I'll ever get married again. Never say never.
I mean,
there's always OnlyFans, Angie. Don't worry about it.
There's the implication that you're only supposed to have one. Meanwhile, my parents have been married twice and 3 times, respectively.
I'm on my second. That's okay.
I just don't see the I don't know, but I just don't. I'm not. There's never been anything that's ever interested me ever in my life. I have proposed, mind you, but I'm not above proposing. But it's like, once you propose and then they start talking about,
this is a mistake.
Shit, I didn't mean it like
I
that.
do hope to be married sooner or later. We have to show this show to more women because we're a very male-centric audience, and all we're talking about is like our dream wedding on the football episode.
Also true, because we're real men. That's why we're real men.
We're all a bunch of romantics in the grand scheme of things.
Listen, I've already had sex today, so listen, I'm good. I'm as manly as he can get. Clay trying to change the
changing the subject.
Talk about weddings. What are you talking about?
Point out my opinion on it.
Lamau,
I spent
$400
on my courthouse wedding and reception, and $300,000 for my courthouse divorce.
300,000. That's more than I'll ever make in my life.
I mean, Jim, sometimes I understand you got to get your dick wet. That's fine. That's a little bit more than my taste. I'll tell you that much. Mm-hmm. Dino has always been one for seconds.
That's fucked up.
Fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. We got to be real about these Super Bowl. It's not exactly exciting. I mean, stop bragging, Tino. Well, listen, don't make me talk about my wiener because that's also big. It's just one of those things. I feel like, Jim, 300,000 cheese. I would just lie and deal with things. No, I would just murder. Come on. That's
bro, you have to take out a loan from the mob for that wedding.
Yeah, no, that's the divorce.
I'm wondering, like, for something like the Super Bowl, where people are saying that football is now becoming the U.S.'s real pastime instead of baseball. Because the World Series
it's been that way.
This kind of
it's been that way my entire life, Atlas. I don't ever. Granted, I'm from Houston, where they only recently got good at baseball, and then everybody called him a cheater after that. But like, I don't know, baseball has never really. I mean, it used to be obviously, but in my lifetime, I've never noticed that it was a.
No, it would have been my generation was still very, very, very pro baseball in that like that was a very skilled sport, whereas football was like it's just a bunch of ogres attacking each other. Like it wasn't viewed as a very prestigious thing.
Well, it's considered the blue collar sport. You get your hands dirty and everything. You know what I mean? And that's kind of taken over because I guess like you got more and more blue collar workers in America now than ever. I feel like maybe not ever, but like it's growing. It's growing. It's going. We're going back to blue collar like stuff.
There's that, and then also I think after the steroid era in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that killed baseball too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco? And you look at them and you're like, oh, that's not a person. That's some sort of gorilla type thing.
That's
and they're like, I work out regular. You're like, no, bro, you juice regular is what you do.
What is wrong with it, though? What is wrong with it?
I like that pro baseball players can still be fat. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of football players are fat. Look at fucking Patrick Mahomes. They just took a picture of him. He's the best quarterback probably ever. And he's going to the Super Bowl tonight. And the dude had his shirt off 2 weeks ago at the end of the game. And, like, dude had, like, he looked like me. He looked like me. Which is funny because he grew up in a town that my mom lived in for a long time. So, like, we might be related in a weird way. Might have the same dad.
Bro, just open with that. Send him a message. Be like, yo, we might have the same dad. And watch him just lose his shit. It'd be great.
Patrick Mahomes is my little brother because he's younger than me. So I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, little bro?
What's up, bro? Thought you could hook me up. That's
all right.
Yeah. This is, and she's like, I'm still romantic, passionate, and a sucker for love. I bet you are a sucker for love, you dirty pervert. I'm glad that my previous marriage. I think that's the most important thing, though. I
love love. Terry loves love.
Yeah, Terry's love. That's fine. Yeah.
You want to talk about generational things? Let's talk about that for a second. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is a year or two younger than me. Now, me and Atlas are starting to get to that age where, like, there's a lot of people who are younger than us and are fucking way up there in the millions, like celebrities and stuff, like athletes and musicians and actors. It's like, fuck, I need to get my shit in order.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to go do some open mics.
God, he's 28 years old. God, that's just horrifying.
Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, he's 2 years younger than me. But
Kyle says, yeah, but he has abs under there. Also true. That's I have abs underneath here, and
it does not matter if you have abs under there. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a nice protective layer to secure them for safety purposes.
I get up. I do a sit up every day.
Damn.
When I get out of bed.
Hey, just one sit up.
Get up out of bed every day.
It adds up.
It's cumulative, people. It's cumulative.
That's 365 sit-ups a year.
That is not something to brag about. That's
hey, and this is a leap year.
So
366.
Yeah, well, hey, it's six pack in the fridge. I mean, that's fair. In the back of the fridge, man.
I got a 12-pack of White Claw. I want to see. I drank most of it last night. I was being a dick on the show last night. I'm sorry, guys, by the way.
Bro, I'm still laughing. So Kyle even messaged me. He's like, damn, the timing on that joke when you were like, what are you, only addicted to women that fucking are mean to you? And he's like, shit.
I felt bad about that later when I thought about it.
It was it was mostly just the timing of it was just so perfect. I got to get a clip of it.
I'm sorry, good. Kyle. I didn't mean it.
Say yes. Y'all talking football now. This was say yes to the dresser that got me all mushy, and now sports. Thanks, Angie. Really appreciate you. I have a 24-pack. I mean, it goes from the front to the back, right, Jim? That's how it works. Okay. No, see, even Kyle says it was great. It was great, bro. It was.
I'm glad you appreciate my humor. That's how I joke around with people.
The best part is, because Cole has seen me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a lot bigger than Cole. And I'm like, oh, Kyle's bigger than me. Cole's just like, hey, that was a joke. I apologize. We're cool. Don't. Yeah.
No, I just don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't give a fuck. If somebody wants to beat my ass over a joke, I'm gonna be like, kill me, bitch. I'm not gonna take it back.
Yeah, no, you can't. Never. A keg for a stomach. I mean, listen, it's tough times are coming, Jim. You gotta be prepared for the apocalypse. That's what I have. I have a layer of preserves all over me. It's perfect. And by that, I'm covered in jam. Is what I mean. No. Yeah. So who's playing today? Is it San Francisco 49ers?
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the Chiefs have been on a tear. Ooh. If they had lost in overtime in the AFC Championship game to the Cincinnati Bengals 2 years ago, and had they won that game and went to the Super Bowl, we'd be seeing them, I think, 5 years in a row now in the Super Bowl? They're on a tear, dude. Yeah.
Bro. See, this is like, can I ask you a question? How often do you think now people are getting hurt in games like this, where it's like during the season, people get hurt all the time.
Right.
But like as you get close to the final match, like there's got to be some people who are like, don't kill yourself, bro. It's not worth it.
I don't know, because if you actually watch basketball goes harder in the playoffs, but I've noticed in football games,
yeah,
you start seeing like a reduction in stats. I don't know if that's necessarily an important thing, but as playoff games go in football, you start seeing less. They're not passing as much. They're not getting as many yards. They're not rushing as much. All these probably are foreign terms to you, but they don't move the ball as far. And I don't know, maybe it's because they're like worn down, but I really do think we'll be singing the national anthem. Nice. Hell yeah. But I just don't think it'll go as hard in the playoffs in football. But you shouldn't. That's a tough sport, dude.
Listen, but that's the thing is, like, professional sports are like, they're called professional sports for a reason. Like, you are operating at a different level, and the thing is, you got to do it again tomorrow, the next day, and like the amount of time that you're active in the sport versus how much downtime you have to recover and train and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot.
Well, that's why there's so few games in football.
Until you go full Goggins and destroy your cartilage.
Listen, sometimes you just got to do that. I feel
Did any of you guys play football ever? Even try?
We did flag football when I was in like elementary school.
That's not really the same, though.
No, it's not.
That is not.
I tried out for football. I was more of a basketball guy as a kid. I tried out the 9th grade. They had me line up as like a fullback or something. They gave me the ball, and that game moves fast. I got whacked I don't know by what position guy. I just know that he was smaller than me. I thought I was going to truck his ass. He put my ass on the ground. I was like, I'm going back to basketball. Fuck this shit. Like,
For real.
he was
Bro.
not. I should have trucked him. He put my ass down, dude.
I did basketball up until like middle school, and then the parts of my body quit agreeing with what my brain was doing because puberty. So the only like sport that I was ever good at after that was baseball, because like we were saying before, you can be the most uncoordinated guy ever and still be decent at baseball. So
baseball, you have to be coordinated. It's just you don't have to be in shape to play that game. You have to be super.
Like, I lost the ability to throw super well, so they would just put me in first base.
How do you lose that ability?
I can't throw for shit. I can throw a punch through a brick wall. I cannot throw a baseball. Like I can throw a football okay, but I cannot throw baseball. Like
I can throw a football about 50 yards one time a year, and that's it. My shoulders hurts the rest of the year. So
how much you want to bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Dude, Atlas retired to a boner. That's exactly too.
I have no idea what he means by that.
You said your body stepped on agreeing with what you were saying for it to do. So you're like, rock hard, and you're like, let's play some football. Oh, don't worry about this. Just it's fine. It's fine.
Yes, he's right.
If Atlas brought a boner to sports, like he would fuck up the rest of the teams, dude. He's carrying a hog, man. I've seen the outline one time when he was doing a stand-up show. The lighting just showed the silhouette, and I couldn't stop myself from looking at it. I was just like, Jesus, this dude is carrying, man. Like somebody make sure he has a CCW for that thing. God damn.
Like a cheese wheel. No.
He's a concealed carry license for that thing.
Like somebody's gonna walk up to him and be like, "Did you just hide your plate in your pants?" You're like, "No, it's all wiener." It's just...
That's like a mag light, bro. Like,
okay. My stepson didn't want to play football because he thought he'd be crazy like I am because of head injuries. I mean, that is a fair question. I used to play like in like on like during lunchtime we would play, like we would organize ourselves.
Yeah.
But I've never been like in my high school didn't have a football team, and there were so we were paired up with another high school that had a football team, but they always sucked. So one year we got paired with a different school, which was the school. It used to be the art school, but now it's like out in the country. So it was all like country guys. So you had like bigger guys, right? So they were like, "Oh, you can go," and I'm like, "Perfect." It was the one time it was my senior year. I'm rocking like 330. I'm working out twice a day. I walk onto the field. I see three guys that I've kicked the shit out of. Like they had to call their friends because I beat them so badly. And I walk on the field. I'm like, "Oh, hey," and they're like, "Hey, man, why are you here? Who are you here to see?" And I'm like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna apply for a football team." They're like, "Oh, fuck off!" And I'm like, I walk up to the coach. I'm like, "Hey, I heard I'm from Heart Lake. Can you guys?" And he's like, "You're a week late. Why would you come a week late?" And I'm like, "I just heard about it now." He's like, "I can't accept your application." I'm like,
"Well, that sucks."
I go, "Change the rules, you dumbass." I'm like, "I've beaten half of your starting line."
Wait,
and they're like,
why wouldn't they let you do it?
I submitted my application a week too late.
Oh.
And they're like, "We can't
rules."
And I'm like, "Break the rules, idiot."
Right.
What are you talking about?
Just lie.
He's just looking at me. He's like, "I can't." And I'm like, and the whole team was like, "Oh, are you fucking joking?"
Yeah, dude, if you had grown up, it's a shame, honestly, that you grew up in Canada. No offense. No. But like if you were like raised in like Florida or Texas, hell, even California, they take that shit serious. Ohio, Pennsylvania, anywhere like that, you would be a millionaire, retired, probably have your own fucking talk show talking about head injuries and shit. But like you would have been a beast at football.
Bro, this is the crazy part. I'm like at my so I was 6'1.5", 6'2", 330 pounds, 18 years old, and I'm like just a brick shit house. And I'm like, bro, I'm working out in the mornings and the nights. I'm like, you can't like.
Yeah, you've been great at like a center or a tackle or something, offensive line.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun, but yeah, the brain damage is definitely something I don't want. I'm still on Valentine's Day. I mean, it is coming. I gotta figure out what to do for my wife. I think of the brain damage you could have if you were born American. Also, fair point. Yeah.
There you go.
Worth it.
I never got anything on Valentine's Day for 25 years. What? This Valentine's Day, I'm spoiling myself. Flowers, candy, dinner, and hopefully I'll get lucky with myself. I mean, play your cards right.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, this is the first year I don't have a date for it in probably 10 years.
Wow.
11 years. 11 years. 11 years I haven't. This will be the first year.
Someone's saving money this week.
Right.
This year they assigned me to be one of the chaperones for prom.
Ew.
Yeah.
Hey, so are you bringing condoms?
Probably.
Hey,
you should have told me. You're not a newlywed, right? I got shit to do.
Well, no. Prom isn't on Valentine's Day. It's in like May.
Okay. I misunderstood. Okay. I thought it was like some kind of dance or something on Valentine's Day.
The reason I bring it up is my plan for Valentine's Day is to do like a promposal.
What?
Like, okay. Are you going to ask her to go to your prom?
Yeah.
Can you bring your wife to the prom?
Yeah, I asked. They're like, yeah, bring your wife. Go for it.
You're so gay, Atlas.
That is super gay, but also super romantic. Good for you. You should buy her a corsage, too.
I might actually. We'll see how it goes.
No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, that'll get you some,
Yeah. No, but it was just for fun because I was like, hey, I have to chaperone prom. And then she's like, that's no way to propose to your wife. And then left the room. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So I have to like do this the
absolutely
fun way. Because when I went to prom when I was in high school, it was just with like a friend. I wasn't dating anybody at the time. What if his wife says no? Kyle.
What if
his wife says no?
That's a fair
She does.
What if she's already got a date?
I know. Say no.
I'm already going to that prom with some other boy.
What German dude?
Katie's gonna say no and go with the German dude. What?
That's a reference to something. It's gotta be. It's like it's just the only one not ripping on you.
Yeah. See, now it's forced and meaningless. Absolutely. I mean, Atlas, you got to do something really cool for her.
Yeah. Well, no, probably my plan is since she's asleep, I can say this.
Kyle had 2 dates to prom. God damn it, Kyle. I didn't even go to
my prom. I went with one girl and left with another girl.
It's like the opposite of that 90s sitcom thing where you invite 2 dates to the same prom. You go with one and then you like stumble into another.
It sounds way sleazier than it was, but it's actually kind of on some loser shit because my date went and danced with another guy. I was like, fuck this girl. And then the other girl, who I'm very good friends with still to this day, she was like, you want to dance? I'm like, yes. So I left with her. So fuck that bitch.
So, let's be honest. The idea of prom is insane, right? Like, because you got to understand the whole idea was prom. Like, people were having prom and then they got married to that person and they lived the rest of their life with that.
Yeah, those are some weirdos, right?
That's how it used to be. So the idea of it having now is insane, right?
Yeah.
Kyle, I want to hear about your 2 dates. That's insane. And then Jim, my prom stood me up. I came to her house and her dad told me she was sick. Bro.
Jesus, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to laugh.
That is bro. I didn't go to a prom because my parents listen, people go to prom and get pregnant. You're not going to prom. And I was like, that's gay.
That's the best. That's the best prom night. That's the ideal prom night.
Or they have their baby at the prom, right? I'm just a prom night.
Who's inviting the pregnant girl to prom?
I think there was a chance that might have happened in my school a couple times, but
wow,
no, that's definitely a thing. Where I come from Southeast Texas. That definitely happened in my school.
That was like a big news story, right?
We had a daycare at my school for the student moms.
Really?
What? Yeah, the school I went to Waller High School, and we had the highest teen pregnancy rate in the state of Texas.
Okay, no, was it because Drexler is an American woman who, as a teenage high school student in 1997, delivered a baby in a restroom stall during her high school prom. The baby was later found dead in a trash bin, and Drexler pleaded guilty to
continue the story.
Why are you still talking? You know how many times Joey will comment and he's like, "Don't click on that comment. Don't do it." because it's about cocksucking or something. And now he's like, so this baby was found in a garbage can. You're like, that's okay. That's what we're gonna be okay.
Well,
with?
I mean, it's just where the Family Guy cutaway comes from. The little song that I just sang. I got no mom or dad.
Well, I took my girlfriend and her shy friend. Well, Kyle,
that's nice.
You are
That's not why. You were trying to get a three-way. We all know what was going on.
Can you imagine? No, but you can't peak in high school like that. Like that's detrimental to your rest of your life. If you could bang 2 chicks on prom, where do you go from there? Mind you, this day and age, you marry 3 women. That's fine.
You are right. You shouldn't go too hard in high school because, like, if you can't beat it, you're just going to be like, I peaked in high school.
Hey, that's my biggest message to people is like, hey, night school isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, take high school, like, take the learning part serious and do all the other shit in your 20s.
I tell that to my students all the time. I'm like, this should not be where the good stuff happens. This should be the crappy introduction that everyone skips when they reread the book.
Joey,
but at the same time, what if the only opportunities you ever have in life are like in high school? You know, all the good shit. You know, like in life. You know, like what happens if you just passed up on some great opportunities for stories?
Joey, I appreciate your positivity. I still haven't peaked, and it's scary. Like. I appreciate that you have a positive spirit, sir.
Me and Joey are the same person. That's why we butt heads.
I mean, also between the two of you, the size of cranium, you could take down the Titanic. Like if you guys your heads were the buoys in the Arctic to guard that iceberg, the Titanic still would have went down. But that's like this is the thing is I remember in high school there were a few girls who like would purposefully I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And they're like they would not talk to me, and I'm like, that's just being rude because I wasn't I knew you know me, I know you just don't want to talk to me because I'm fat. Okay. When I went to where I went to college and they were there, I'm like, bro. They were like, oh hey, and I'm like, oh no. You that ship has sailed. You're just a rude person. You want something from me. I have nothing to give you. Go fuck yourself. It was great. Clay is like me without military service. I mean,
100%.
Also, Joey is kind of Joey without military service. Like he's like military service. I'm from a small town, California. I'm still friends with my high school friends. That's actually good. I am still friends. I have a couple friends that I've known since grade 6, and a couple more that I've known since like grade 9, grade 10. Ha, huge melons. I mean, that will work.
The only friend I still talk to in any significant capacity is Dan, who you met at the wedding. You met Dan.
Who also looks like Nick Neeblis, which
he does.
Fucking hilarious.
Yes, he does.
So, Cole, just so you know, Cole, were you ever on the show with Nick? It was a guy, okay, so this guy, Nick Neeblis, he's been a guest a couple times on the show. Very funny, good guy. He produces a bunch of stuff at the wedding. So I've taken a lot of edibles at this point, okay? I'm also smoking some joints. I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm drinking. I'm all over the place, okay? But like nobody can really tell, but I'm just kind of like, Now, that being said, this guy starts talking about how long he's known Atlas and everything. And then I'm like, oh my God, is this the guy we've had on our own show? And then I'm freaking out. And then I start looking through. I'm like, oh, no, that was somebody else. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, Atlas, doesn't he look like that? And he's like, oh my God, he does. It was pretty wild.
Dude, I feel your pain though, because I've had conversations with people who know me and I have no recollection of like ever seeing them or meeting them ever in my life. But I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And they're like, we've met a lot of times. Like, I'm like, oh, my bad.
That's, you know what though? But hold on. If we've met a lot of times, but we never have a conversation, I don't care. Go fuck
yourself. Had conversations with them too. Yeah, that's what they tell me. They're like, yeah, we've kicked it. I'm like,
how drunk?
If I don't kick it with you one-on-one though, I'm not gonna remember you. Like that's just how it is,
yeah. I like how Kyle is putting out there that I can't wait to be famous and have people say I used to know that guy. What an asshole! I'm like, oh, I know people right now. They're like, oh, I used to know him. What a dick! I wish they would bring back the love connection.
What is the love connection?
That was a TV show. You bastard. Right, Kyle, that is literally the only reason I want to be famous and see what people say. I mean, that's fair. Do you guys believe that you should know what other people think of you?
Okay, so I'm on the fence with it where I want to know just out of sheer curiosity
Fair.
so that I can like use it to my advantage. But I also think there's something to be said for not knowing just to like keep your self-esteem intact, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like that's the thing is absolutely. John's like absolutely not. I mean, that's fair. I feel like that's really the mark of fame. Why people like it really does affect so many people is because people do not hold back. And then you're like, oh, people are talking about me. I want to know what they say. And then you're like, I did not think that. Oh my god, you sons of bitches, right?
yeah. Or I didn't notice that. Or holy crap. Like, I have like a would you rather question where one of the options is would you rather see everything everyone said about you over the course of your life, or blah blah blah. So just because like I want to know, like I'm obsessed with being correct with stuff.
No.
Yeah, shut up. Being able to like figure that out would be insane, but like I was saying, just would destroy your self-worth, I think.
I don't know. You know what I heard? So when my earlier this year when my brother died, I was talking with my other brothers and they were like, "Hey, do you know this person?" I'm like, "I have no idea who that person is." Like the name wasn't familiar, like at all, nothing. Okay. And he goes, "Yeah, she said she went to high school with you and she's had a crush on you like forever." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." Like she was like, "Oh, I was so into your brother Dino." And my brother's like, "You mean Tim?" And he's like, "No, Dino. He was so hot." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you when did that happen?" I'm like, "I have no like I don't even remember this person." I'm like, "Bro, I prided myself on knowing almost my entire high school. Like I knew my grade, I knew above grades, but like when I was graduating, I knew everyone up to like grade 10. So like I didn't know like people who were brand new unless they had an older sibling or something like that. But I knew everyone. Oh, great. Now my wife is like, who is this girl and where does she live? I have no idea. I don't know. That's the crazy part. I'm like, I like zero recollection of that. And I'm like, bro, I can only imagine how that has happened. But like, yeah, it seems like it's a dangerous thing, right? Because some people just fucking hate you.
I get a lot of that, actually.
Oh, you deserve it. Let's be honest. That's fair. So do I. So does Atlas, not so much, but I could see Atlas going, like somebody being like, Atlas is weird. And Atlas is like, that's true. I am weird.
Yeah.
But you're like,
I
weird.
don't know. I feel like Atlas like legitimately gives a damn. Like even people he doesn't get like actually know. He's just like, let me make sure you're comfortable. Where like
yeah.
He's Atlas, you
anomaly.
truly are a very, very, very good person, and I can't say that about a lot of people. I can't even say that about myself, if I'm honest. Like, I don't give a fuck about your comfortability at all. Like,
that's more accurate. Yeah, that's fair.
I think I could put up the facade and then like.
Well, no, but that's Atlas. You're like, hey, I'm trying to be a good person, and then you're like also you don't like rocking the boat. Also like growing up and going through your parents' divorce stuff like that. You're like,
that's a good trait to have, though. Is just
I don't rock the boat. Everything's fine, right? So
yeah,
like
or just overly flexible, you know.
I don't know if you're overly flexible.
We're like
overly accommodating.
Yeah, or we're like you just kind of take whatever it is just to keep the peace.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. But here, check this out. So I have a student who will like they'll do drawings of like characters that we're reading or talking about in class. So like
send me the pictures.
Send it to him. Okay, well I'll show it here. So Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye, and then from my film study class, there's Alex from Clockwork Orange.
That's a great job.
Yeah, but then in the rule of 3, there's me.
Yeah, that is spectacular. That's a great drawing.
Yeah,
I kind of want to use it. Just an FYI.
Here, I'll send them to you. Hang on. God damn
Send a mind picture and be like, "Can you draw this guy too? We need drawers."
Yeah,
I'm the kind of person. If somebody drew a picture of me, like a legitimate drawing of me, I would hang it up in my living room.
They're only about like yay big.
It's me. Look,
somebody drew me, motherfucker.
Who drew you? I don't fucking remember. I don't know. It's me though.
Even like the funny thing is, even like Kyle has a bunch of pictures that like because there was photo shoots from when we did the Haunted Village, and he's like, I'm gonna have some of those blown up. I'm like, you should. They're wild pictures, bro. but they're also like they're super cool. Yeah. Me, I don't get nothing of that shit. They were like, no, you are too actively scary. I'm like, that's what I was going for. Perfect.
All right, send him.
I feel like I'm the real life version of like those scary people. You know, people are like, oh, Kyle's like a pretty version. Like Kyle could be in movies as a scary guy because he's not like you look at him, you're like he's scary, but he also attractive. Whereas me, they're like that guy's gonna kill you.
He could be. If Dino's a movie monster, Kyle is like the flashback that you see of how he became the movie monster.
Maybe.
Where you're like, oh, I could see that. I could see him becoming one or the other. I sent him to you, by the way.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
I think I don't really care what people think of me who like have actually like met me and stuff like that. I couldn't care less about that. Like those thoughts never crossed my mind. But what I would find interesting is like, what is my first impression? Like to the average person, like what is when people see me in the wild and they've never seen me before, strangers, like when I'm out and about, what is their first thought? Like, oh, this guy, you know what I mean? Like, that would be an interesting thought, like opinion. You know, is offensive scary?
I mean, that sounds accurate.
I mean, like it's different also based on who's the person seeing you. Like,
I'm sure, but what's the average thought? What do I get? What's the vibe and the energy I give off to strangers and new people? That's what I want to know. Like, honestly, like, what am I doing to like what do people think about me generally speaking when they first meet me or see me in public?
He's trying out for football. He gets tackled. So, what do you think of me? I'm going back to basketball, but what do you think of me? You know,
he just knocked me down. You're a punk bitch.
What position was he playing? Do you know, or
I don't know, man. Just on defense.
No, okay.
Like I hope I didn't get tackled by one of my guys.
At the same time, I can definitely picture you getting taken off your feet and your slides just going right into the air.
Dude, man, I was just like, I don't even know what happened. Like, again, this guy was smaller than me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to fuck this guy up. And then I'm just on the ground. Like, I'm just, you know, you get that feeling when you hit your back on the ground and you can't breathe right away. You're like,
because you get the wind.
You know, he punked my ass, dude.
There was
bottom. I do give off like reluctant top energy, don't I?
There's a reluctant top.
Reluctant top. That's 100%.
I've never heard that before.
That is, bro. Reluctant top is the antithesis of power bottom. I love it.
There's a Patton Oswalt bit where he's like, he's talking about being outside a bar and there's like this, you know, kind of fat guy. He's like round almost. And there's like a guy wearing cowboy boots and he's like talking smack to the fat guy. And then the guy just picked him up. Like, not like just like that and then dropped him. And then just because he's a power lifter.
Yeah.
Right.
So like power lifters all become kind of one giant bicep. He just picks him up and drops him again. And like that's kind of what I'm imagining Cole felt, where it's that same like, oh, I got this, and then
I don't even know what happened. I don't know how he did, but that's the thing is, there's a fundamental to every sport. Yeah. And if you haven't been playing your whole entire fucking life, you're gonna get your ass whooped. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Football, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just people. If you're a casual fan of football, they're like, it's just people smacking each other. It's not. There's rules to this. It's simulated war.
Reluctant top is a new t-shirt.
There you go.
By the way, Cole, Kyle, do you guys mind if I show the drawings that I did? Just because I want people's opinion as to what they think of them.
I still think it's just the quote. I think the quote would sell way better than just our faces. You're like, who the fuck is this guy? But do whatever you got to do, man.
So what I want to do is I want to take these pictures. I'm going to run them through like an AI to do them like cartoony and cool. That's that's my plan.
What for reluctant top or that?
Well, first, this is first generation dad versus third generation side dude. Both are Cole, but as you can see, one he has a tie, the other one he's got his gold chain outside of his shirt, which you're like that is bad news, right? Which I think is funny.
That's like middle school as fuck.
I got my lapel mic hanging from my chain right now.
Also, now I got to use this. Your jokes are bro. And that is like so good.
The best part is so in that picture, pull it up again. They drew it where I'm wearing a bathrobe. Yeah, and it's because during pajama day at school, because we've had 2 this year, I always wear a bathrobe over my pajamas. So like
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's just what I guess they kind of associate with me now is the bathrobe.
Yeah. Kyle's like, I want to see the AI version. I'm like, you know what? Mine wasn't that bad, sir. So thank you for that.
I kind of want to make a T-shirt out of the "Your jokes aren't funny." That's
I'm gonna work on it. I'll work on it probably tomorrow. So
yeah, and then I'm gonna ask that student's permission because it's their drawing.
100%.
Yeah.
Also, like, listen. So my thing is this, because one of them is inspired by Kyle, and the other one is inspired by Cole. And then like that one's gonna be yours. Like, I feel like whoever's it is should get the lion's share, and then go from there.
And then what? Just do like a.
And then, I'm drawing them. I should get something out of it.
Should we like combine all the shows into like one? Like,
we're slowly starting our own like fraternity, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, slowly but surely.
So kind of like how like It Could Happen Here and Daily Zeitgeist and Behind the Bastard and all of them are under Cool Zone Media. Like it's one.
Right.
Yeah. So like we're slowly kind of
merging a little bit.
King of
we have our own multiverse. That's exactly
multiverse. Yeah.
But that's like the whole idea is that between all of us, you're like, listen, we have enough charisma that we can do shit on our own, but using each other too, it's easier to give. Like yesterday, I made Lego. I made a dragon. It was awesome. Cole, Joey, Kyle came on. Dorito came on.
Yeah.
It was. We had a good time, right? But we were just hanging out, talking shit.
It's kind of how you would. It's the best way to build a platform is to work together. You know.
Yeah.
Well, listen, because you guys saw like my watch numbers were really low for a long time. They weren't moving, and now finally they've started to like really start to do. But I'm doing more stuff.
Dude, I feel like all of us have started to like explode ever since my page became. Not that I'm taking credit for it by no means, but like ever since I got monetized, I feel like we're all just kind of like taking off a little bit, views and everything.
Bro, we need one Sandler, and the rest of us will be like, because listen, everybody can do their own stuff, but let's like somebody has to get a tap into that stuff.
Who's the Kevin James of us all? Dino. Well, it's either Dino or me. Right?
I'm big and I'm violent.
My mom's over here. She said under her breath, she said Dino.
That's
Cole's mom.
Hey, I know who I am. That's fine. Yeah, that's totally. Listen, if anyone thought otherwise, I am very clear on who I am. Be yourself.
May 18th show. Okay, so like
she didn't mean it in a bad way, by the way. She didn't mean it. She's just like,
no, I don't feel. I feel it's coming.
James vibes.
He's funny and awkward, and he gets to bang hot chicks. I'm good.
My mom just. My mom just said she'd fuck Kevin James, so there you go.
Hey, King of Queens Kevin James was weirdly hot.
There you go.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I remember, Cole, the first time I virtually met you on Joey's stream, and you're doing some fat chick jokes. I was like, who, me? Oh, listen, Angie, don't worry about that.
I was doing fat chick jokes? That sounds like me.
Joey, I can't do the May 18th show, but my last day of school / work is June 10th. So like a month later, I can come up if he got spots around Cleveland.
Oh, in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yeah, summer's cool for me.
Hey, I'm down to go. Like, so I'm hoping to come down in March, but I don't know, because Atlas, you guys are going away, right, or something? What are you guys doing
for
in March break? No.
Oh, I have a spring break.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like a private school and year round. Yeah. So unfortunately, but oh well.
Yeah, just just let you gotta like. I'm one of those people like you gotta like keep reminding, until like right before.
But yeah, I'd love to do some shows like in.
Bro.
I'll actually like since it's less since it's less like
hell yeah it does
right away, you know what I mean? I don't know how to like it's more it's since
down the line
we have more time to prepare. I'll like actually try to set up shit. Although comedians aren't big fans of me recently. So
bro, but you know what though? Like listen, like even Ryan is starting to get more active and stuff. And I told him like, listen, you gotta do something. Just to get back into it. So he's doing like DJ gigs and stuff like that. But he's also talking about driving across the country in like a van with a few people, which I'm like, I'm down. But bro, like you gotta
That'd be
He's
kind of
coming, right?
interesting if like I flew to Cleveland and then we drove back across to the West Coast and dropped me off.
Well, he's saying to do it in 2 weeks and to stop the whole way and like do a show for $500. So we each like every couple of days we do a show, make some money, and then like we can also do stuff, right? And just do content, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
it's an idea.
All right.
I'm down with just doing like I don't want to do any. I've made the like I'm no longer doing comedy. I'm just stand up. So like I'm cool with just doing like podcasts and connecting with people and supporting you guys doing y'all stand up.
Okay.
I'm just not about it anymore. But I'm totally fine with going along and doing the trip and everything. I'm just
you would be part of creating content. Right, that's the whole idea, right?
Because like doing sketches, all that shit, you know, funny videos, stuff like that.
Bro, because I have a couple of good quality cameras and like mics and stands and stuff, and I'm like, we can do production stuff, like good quality shit, and then go from there.
Be something where I really hate all the like back end shit. So please, Cole, take over that for me.
For sure. I have no problems with doing all of the promoting and all that. I'm a great promoter. It's just what it comes down to is I like doing stand up and I feel like I'm good at it, but like I can be good at it, but I don't appreciate the grind of it. And I'm just because I'm more of a wing it, say something stupid type of guy. You know what I mean? I don't like to prepare stuff, you know, as much, you know. So,
I look forward to getting canceled someday. That's good.
Yeah. Post pandemic, I definitely like laid off the gas of like the grind of stand up.
Right.
And it's made it a whole lot more enjoyable where like just get shows where you can have a good time, you know. Do it like CCR at Woodstock, even if it's like the crappiest venue ever. There's somebody in the back, you're doing it for them, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Something. Right?
Yeah, man, we can sell T-shirts out of the back of the van and do shit like that. Like,
well, that's the other thing. Like, if we do it right, like, bro, we can have those T-shirts and be like, just order it off the website. Like, here's the website, just order it, no problem. You know, and that way they could just click. So, like, my idea is to have like, I'm actually looking at one of those websites where you can like put in your thing, and they do everything on the back end. You're like, so we would make less, but we don't have to buy shirts and print them and all that. Like, I'm trying to everything because. Everyone else is like,
it's not overly expensive. So
no, you can buy decent shirts for like $3, and then all the equipment is like it's not a huge.
It's like $500 worth of equipment. It's really not.
I'm probably chopping most of this stuff out in the back end because I don't think people want to hear about like our
plans of world domination.
Yeah.
Listen.
Creating an empire.
You have to keep it in just for the sake that we have comments like this. I took no offense. I have a mirror. I'm proud of being built for comfort and not for speed. Angie,
you and me both, Angie.
You're awesome.
I mean, I would never say anything negative to somebody to their face unless I like was calling you out specifically. So like, if I'm making jokes about fat people in general, I'm just saying in general. I don't mean anybody. I'm not naming names or nothing. You know. So.
And then also I've noticed on your YouTube, you've been doing a lot of like history memes. So I queued up a bunch of them for this week. So keep an eye on @Atlas Novak on TikTok or the Epileptic Comic on YouTube.
As a matter of fact, Atlas, you want to go ahead and tell people what we've been talking about? You know?
Oh, yeah. So
you're like, not really.
Well, we're toying with the idea of this. This yet unnamed show where I'm gonna kind of tell Cole the history of the world, and then we're just gonna like talk shit.
Yeah. We're gonna be talking.
Think like Mr. Peabody and Sherman. If one of them had like half the knowledge he currently does, and the other one was drunk, that's the show. I want to sell
my Vern's Secret big and tall line of swimsuits. I mean.
What's Vern's Secret? Like a male Victoria's Secret? Or
I'm assuming as much because the also big and
it would be Victor's Secret.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Vic's Secret. Yeah.
Vic's Secret.
Vern's Secret is don't ride a tractor.
Also, I feel like
Vic's Secret sounds like he's got like bodies in the yard. Like
100%.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret is underwear.
Right.
Vic's Secret is don't go to Chattanooga, Tennessee on April 27, 1965. That's Vic's Secret.
I used to be a truck driver, and this is my confession.
God. Oh God, has to be Vern's Secret.
So it has to be
It's already bought on GoDaddy, so you can't think.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, this is
Danica Patrick reminded him to go buy Vic's secret.
She is she's a hero, a national hero, an international hero, sir.
Vic with a K.
For people watching with us at this particular time, we hope you enjoyed yourself. For people listening to this in the future, I hope you got your money that you bet on Super Bowl squares or on the 49ers. I hope I did. Anyway.
Absolutely. That is the hope and the dream.
Yeah.
With regards to everything else, we are going to be having